Welcome to Live Music Showcase here on 88.5 WMNF Tampa. I'm your host, Ken Apperson. We are a very special show. We bring a live band into our live studio live every week. Did I say live enough? I think I said it enough. That's fine. This week, we have Blake Daniels, the handsome, the tall, the striped shirt wearing Blake Daniels. I like that Telecaster, Blake.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very pretty. Blake brought in his full band today of all stars. Like, seriously, it's kind of crazy. I'm a little starstruck, frankly, knowing some of the names in this room right now. Can't wait to get to know everybody. Blake, tell me real quick, if you could sum up your music in one sentence, what would you say it is?
One sentence. I'd say kind of like art folk rock.
Art folk rock.
Art folk rock.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
So Blake's going to share some of his music. We're going to dig into some of the inner workings of his music because, frankly, I the way that you write, I've been listening to your music all week. I always love when we have songwriters in here that are very intentional with their writing, that are very thoughtful and careful and maybe a little bit of overthinkers. And
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There it is. So we're going to dive into that a little bit in today's episode. So stick around. Blake, let's hear your first song. Let's do it.
This one is called On, and it's the opening track of my latest record called Break the Cycle. Everyone around me swears it's confounding too. I'm either the last or I'm the first. I'm the best or I'm the worst with you. Oh, the times they came, the times they went, the afternoons, the nights well spent. Goes on and on, on and on a drone so we moan and groan. Can't you just
You're listening to Live Music Showcase. Blake Daniels here in studio with us today. That's a cool song, guys.
Thank you, man.
Who wrote that song?
I did.
I had a sneaking suspicion. So when you write, are you the type of writer that has like a full vision of the song in their head when you go to the band or when you go to rehearsal, or is it more you get the bones and then you go to the band, you kind of work it out?
I usually have a pretty full idea of kind of what I want the final thing to look like. In my process, I usually will kind of make home demos. Like I'll do a lot of home recording and home demos, and I'll kind of get a guitar part and then kind of figure out what the rhythm roughly will sound like with bass and just kind of where the rhythmic hits are, and then kind of build a demo up from there, and then kind of just usually kind of record a whole demo and then kind of bring it to my friends in the band, and then
Sure.
we'll play it live in that sense.
Sure. So how long have you been playing?
I started playing guitar when I was 13, but I've been writing songs since I was like 15 probably or so.
Okay. Okay.
And I played in some bands around St. Pete way back in the day.
Right, and you're like 45 now.
I'm
so
45 now,
yeah,
so
clearly.
I mean, well, coming on 45, yeah, 55. Or so.
Sure. No, really, how old are you though?
31.
You're 31.
Yeah.
Okay. Good head of hair for 31.
Thank you.
Son of a gun. So no, I always think that's interesting though, because typically, maybe not typically, but sometimes when a songwriter has that vision, especially before you get to the level where people believe in it, when you're just kind of getting going, and it's hard to get people to buy it right off the bat, even if they like it. The pros are always going to be skeptical of whatever you're doing. How do you how do you inspire your band to believe in your music? And maybe that's a question for the bandmates.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'm curious, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, they're all friends of mine, and we play in each other's projects too. And I think that's one of the things, it's like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Anyone needs me for a project, I'm there. But I think everyone just kind of digs the music and is having a fun time kind of thing.
I see nodding going on in the room. I like it. Let's see the drummer. Is the drummer nodding? He's got a thumbs up. I love it. That's great. Yeah, I mean, JT Brown is one of the people here in this room today. If you know JT Brown in the local music scene here, JT's kind of infamous, I think.
Okay.
Somewhat famous, infamous.
That's cool.
He's a pro through and through. JT Brown is a local legend. Would you use that word?
That would never come out of my mouth.
Okay, fair enough. Humble too. I like it. But JT, like when you first came across Mr. Blake, what'd you think of him?
I saw him years ago in Ybor City, I think, for Heat Wave or something. I don't know, something they were doing.
Yeah.
He was it's probably 5 years ago.
Wigfest, maybe?
Maybe Wigfest.
Was it
like that.
Wigfest?
Yeah. I thought he was a little green as a performer. He's come
Sure.
a long way. He's pretty polished up now.
Yeah.
But I could tell that he was a great writer. I could just, for my taste,
Yeah.
has a great sense of melody, unique in his approach to chord structuring and things like that. So
Yeah.
as a songwriter, I appreciate those things. And then I met him, and he asked if I wanted to play, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do that.
I like it. That's awesome. Cool. Okay. So I definitely want to get into what your plans are as a band, as an individual, as a songwriter. 31's a scary age for a songwriter.
Yeah.
Because it's every year after 30, it's like you start getting closer and closer, further away from the possibility of doing something much bigger, potentially. But I want to talk about that. So before we do, though, let's go into the next song.
Sure.
Let's do it.
So this next one's called Marlon Brando, and this is another off my most recent release called Break the Cycle. like John and Yoko. I feel like a king. I would like to take you out to see a show. Anywhere you'd like to go, whatever's your thing. People say that love is overrated. Time is only waiting for you and me. Maddie, I like your style. Your leather black boots and your sharp attire. Time you come around. Anything you want to talk about, come out, Maddie, with me tonight. We can do anything that we feel is right. There's not a thing about you that I wouldn't like to know. And to you I would like to show everything. I know I can be the one to move too fast, even if it doesn't last out a day. People say that dating's so demanding, but we don't have to plan it or anything. Maddie, you drive me wild. With your long, long hair and your Latin smile, you come and lay me down. Your love is all around. Come out, Maddie, with me tonight. We can do anything that we feel is right. When you're on my arm, I feel like Marlon Brando. I feel like Han Solo, cool as can be. I would like to take you out to see a show. Where you'd like to go, whatever's your thing. People say that love is overrated, but time is only waiting for you and me.
You're listening to Live Music Showcase here on 88.5 WMNF. I'm your host, Ken Apperson. We do have a live stream going right now on our Facebook page, WMNF's Live Music Showcase. If you're a Facebooker, go look us up. You can follow along. You can follow the page, and you can get notifications for every time we go live and do this live stream, which is pretty much every week. So if you're watching the live stream right now, thank you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you. We do have a few people that are watching right now actually leaving some comments. Let's see. Terry says, love this song. Katarina says, Brando, my favorite tune off the new record. Toby Sapp says, I'm hooked. So good job, guys. Mediocre reviews so far.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, Katarina is actually a host here at WMNF. So thank you for tuning in, Katarina. Appreciate that. And if you're watching right now, hit that share button. Share it with your following, too. We need as many people as we can get, by far. So as far as the plans for the future, what is Blake Daniels trying to accomplish with his music?
So I mainly, I mean, I'm trying to, just make the best music that I can, and hopefully touch some people with it, or, you know, yeah, make some effective art, But so I'm still kind of in the baby stages of like a career. So I just came out with my first debut record. I'm working on the second one. But yeah, I mean, mainly just to kind of get it out there and hopefully get some attention, and yeah, hopefully make something that people enjoy and have it grow organically. That's yeah.
So you said you started writing music when you were like 15, right? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
15. That's a pretty important age, especially for young men. What was the reason that made you want to start writing music?
I think it was just because I was just really into music. I
Yeah.
just love, I've just always been a huge music fan, and I thought it'd be cool,
Can I take a guess at one of your influences?
Yeah.
Cat Stevens.
Oh yeah.
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 I can hear it in your writing for
Big
sure.
time.
Even in your tonality too, because when we're young singers, we often emulate the ones that we love.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way that over time just kind of grows into our natural tone as well. So it's good. That's
Thanks.
it's definitely a good person to take influence from. So when you were 15, were you like, I'm going to do this for real? I'm going to be a star? Or was it like, I'm just going to do this for fun? And it kind of started to grow. What was it like for you?
Yeah, I think that when I was younger, it was like, oh, I want to be a star. I want to
Yeah.
be a rock star. And then kind of like late teens, early 20s, I think I kind of got like too tied into that, and, if you tie that too much to your identity, and if it's not going well, then you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm not doing well, kind of thing. So I went through a stage of that.
Sure.
And then for a lot of my early 20s, and then I've kind of come back now, the past few years, trying to be like, okay, now I can do it and not, be all.
Past few years, what do you think inspired you to kind of like light that fire?
I don't know. I'd still been doing it. I'd still always been doing it and writing and recording songs, and still just really into music in general. And I think it was just an age thing where I got to an age where I was like, I don't care as much as, what other people think of it or this or that, and kind of like, I'm going to do this and make it the way I like it and just put it out there and, that sort of thing.
Did you struggle with that concept of like making yourself happy versus making the world happy with your music?
Yeah.
Because that's a tough line to walk. That's a tough choice to make.
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of have come to my personal view on it is that if I'm writing something, anything that's like, what will other people think of this, clouds my process, I guess. So I try to just
Interesting.
really dial into what do I like and try to eliminate some of those. And that's kind of my process, I guess.
Okay. So I actually love that answer because it speaks to authenticity. And in artistry, that authenticity is, I think, one of the most important elements as a songwriter, as an artist in general.
Yeah,
There has to be a commitment to it in one form or another.
I agree.
And even if that commitment is to making stuff that is, maybe commercially viable, quote unquote, if the goal is still to move people and to affect people in an emotional way,
Yeah.
if that's the core and you work outward from that, I think that that's a good roadmap to success.
Yeah, I think it gives it like the weight that'll hold it down.
Exactly.
Starting with that, a piece of whatever the artist is, if
Right.
it's about art or music or whatever. If you get a little piece of you in there, that'll keep the weight down. That's my artistic, pretentious thought.
I wouldn't call that pretentious at all, but pretension is a matter of opinion. But I am curious, if you ran into 20-year-old you, if you were walking down the street and you ran into 20-year-old you, what would you tell 20-year-old you? Well, if you had two things to tell 20-year-old you, what would you stop him and grab him and tell him?
Two things. I'd probably say, to not worry so much about, when it comes to art, to not worry about so much about what other people think of it, and to try to go your own way, and to, I'd probably be like, get off your butt and work more and write more and put more records out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
good. Well, on that note, let's hear some of those. Let's hear some more of those tracks.
All right. So yeah, this one. Later we're going to be playing a show at Ella's Americana Folk Art Cafe in Tampa, and this next song I'm about to play is called Some Blues, and I was privileged to work with a director named Will Shanahan who directed a music video for this song, did an excellent job, and that is going to be coming out today, and we're going to be doing a show in promotion of that, and yeah, and then it's going to be up on the internet for listeners to watch.
Love it.
Okay.
You're still listening to Live Music Showcase here on 88.5. We're here every Friday at 2 p.m. We hope you are too. Go ahead and leave us a comment in the live stream, WMNF's Live Music Showcase on Facebook. If you're watching right now, I can see we're still getting some more comments too. I'm definitely going to bring those up in a minute just because one of them is Ray Roa, who is the head honcho over there at Creative Loafing.
Ray.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, Ray. Really appreciate it.
Nice. All right, this one's called Some Blues. Can you look me in the eyes today? I swear I'll try to do the same. Let me tell you about the shape I'm in, so come on inside and let's begin. Places and towns I tried to outrun. You don't get far when you're what you're running from. Maybe when I die my sins will be forgiven. Well, I'm only 29, barely living. After all, what could be so different? Just another way to hide from my life. But I was changed ever after, born and raised in its fiery light. Though my pain turned to laughter, I was in a prison to my own delight. Well, I'd like to be your only man, but I wear this affliction like a wedding band. That's the point you're trying to understand. It's just another way to hide, and it's my right. Take me in your arms and sway. I fear I'm lost to float away. Doesn't matter what you thought, the cost to pay in full and feeling lost. And the cost is everything, you know. Cost me every last dollar and dram. And like a slave to its master, I was guided by its violent hands. Well, don't look to me, I'm falling faster. Every step I take seems to lead to disaster. If I finally get what I'm after, it's just another way to hide from my life.
You're listening to Live Music Showcase here on 88.5 WMNF. I love it. Haunting. Haunting.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Love the harmonies. I'm a big sucker for harmonies, man. That's probably one of the quickest ways to get me to like a band.
Yeah.
They get on stage and you start hearing 2- and 3-part harmonies. That's awesome. It's gorgeous.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
So in terms of composing harmonies, that can be challenging at times. Heard a lot of thirds, heard a few fifths.
Yep.
Heard a few fourths here and there whatsoever.
Yes. Yeah, on the recording I wound up doing a third above and
Yeah.
then the fifth I brought below. But
Yeah.
live we kind of stack them up. But JT is just an excellent harmonizer, so he kind of just I let him, he just does his own thing and it sounds great.
I mean, yeah, it sounds great. It sounds really, really great. So when it comes to, so we were kind of talking about like, being professional, getting the ball rolling, so to speak. What do you have planned for the next few years? as far as your career, as we were talking about. I don't even want to do air quotes. Your career,
Yeah.
and your releases and your hopes. What are you hoping to accomplish?
So I'm hoping to. Well, I'm working on a new record right now, and that's going to be called Wild Thunder. And so that's kind of my next project. But yeah, getting that together and really getting some music videos, getting more music videos, and just trying to put out as much good content as I can.
Yeah.
You know, I've got kind of my philosophy is that if I put out as much, or that try to focus on putting out the best content you can, and that's kind of like, that's the main thing that's in your control. So doing that and just planning to play shows around town, keep doing stuff like this and promote it. And that's kind of my plan, I guess, to keep making records and just kind of keep doing this.
Do you think you're going to do any touring anytime soon, or?
Yeah, we're looking at maybe possibly doing like a small tour in the fall, maybe like a run up to Nashville, but
Sure.
that's kind of in the works. I think we're still kind of in the building of our fan base kind of thing right now.
Absolutely.
So I think once we, hopefully, once we, get some people interested, and if we can build a fan base, we'll kind of keep going from there. Is the plan.
So that's a great point. So focusing on, this is the two things I just heard.
Yeah.
I heard building as much content as we can, and it sounds like visual content as well as audio content, and focusing on building your fan base, kind of using that content. Is that accurate?
Yes.
As well as live shows and every other promotional tool at your disposal. So what made you focus on doing videos, for example? This is not a criticism. I'm genuinely just curious.
No, for sure. So I've always just liked music videos and watching music videos, and
Sure.
especially like really cool and interesting artistic ones. And then, like I said, we've got this new video coming out for Some Blues, and that was, the director, Will, is a very experienced director and filmmaker, and he has a great body of work. So, no, that was a really special process to get that. And having that out and just getting more videos. And I think that videos also help with getting exposure and getting people exposed to the music as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's honestly what I wanted to let the listeners hear, because, in the year 2022, it's very difficult. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult, I think, to be an artist who just focuses entirely on the production of the music, writing
Yeah.
the music, recording the music, and then that's it. How many guys do you know that are like, I'm going to spend 10 grand recording an album, and then they don't promote it,
I know.
or they do promote it, but they promote it in a more traditional way that doesn't involve as much visual media. And it's like, you've got this great, great, beautiful product, and you've got this whole world out there that's dying to hear it, and they don't know it. And it's because they don't have the way to consume it that they're used to consuming these kinds of things.
No, understood. I mean, that's like with Break the Cycle. I kind of view that as like my debut record in a way. So I kind of, I finished it, and then I didn't do a big kind of traditional like videos, everything's coming out at once. I kind of rolled it out slowly because I was like, well, I don't have, a big following yet or anything like that. But with this next record, that is certainly my intention, is to kind of build the anticipation and do some teasers and stuff like that. And
Well, speaking of promotion, Ray Roa actually put in the comments on the live stream. He said, got some info on his Some Blues video and the show here. Happy to see Blake finally drop that debut over the summer. And he put a link to it in the Creative Loafing website.
Oh, thanks, Ray.
So that's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Good to have that guy in your corner.
Oh, yeah.
Very
No,
cool.
he's great, yeah.
So with that in mind, I'd love to hear your next tune.
All right, so the next one is called Fly Away, and it is also off of Break the Cycle. I'll do a little instrument switch.
Beauty. Yeah, so while you're doing that, we'll just remind all the listeners, there are a number of ways you can listen to this show. You can listen to it on your radio. You can listen to it live at WMNF.org, because this show and every other show on WMNF actually gets streamed to our website. So you can go to WMNF.org, and you can even find the Live Music Showcase page there on the website as well. You find out all the information about the show, find some past episodes and our archive as well. You can also hear this show in podcast form wherever you get your normal podcasts. All you have to do is search Live Music Showcase. That's it. It's easy, and it's anytime, anywhere. You can listen to this show anytime, anywhere. It's at your leisure, at your pleasure. All right, so let's hear it.
All right, this song is called I'll Fly Away. 1, 2, 1. Wait, heaven's on the rise. I can see it through the wailing pines when it moves to take me down the line. Flow right up and be gone. Hey, trouble's on the line. Behind the screaming wait, that's mine. If you believe it happens all the time, this world I won't be long. 'Cause I'll fly away, I'll fly away. Maybe not tomorrow, but I'll fly away. Away from this world of toil and pain. Leave my trouble here and be gone. To Lullaby. Wait, heaven's on the rise in this world of toil and trial. Off to the land of honey and wine, leaving from where I began. Wait, trouble's on the mind, but my day is coming in time. Seeing heaven, everything is fine. Don't have to worry down. 'Cause I'll fly away, I'll fly away. Maybe not tomorrow, but I'll fly away. Away from this world of toil and pain. Leave my trouble here and be gone. We can go to Alaska. I will leave right now. Maybe Appalachia. Come on, lover, won't you come on around? Leaving nothing's ever gonna keep me down. 'Cause I'll fly away, I'll fly away. Be not tomorrow, but I'll fly away. Away from this world of toil and pain. Leave my trouble here and be gone. Leave my trouble here and be gone. Leave my trouble here and be gone.
This is Live Music Showcase here on 88.5 WMNF. I'm your host, Ken Apperson. We're live in studio with Blake Daniels and the Blake Daniels Band. They're going to be playing a show at Ella's American Folk Art Cafe. Man, I love Ella's. I love that place. The food, oh my gosh. This isn't a plug. They haven't paid us. And you can go there if you want to, but it's. I used to live right on that block, actually, where Ella's is. I used to live right in the neighborhood there, the Seminole Heights neighborhood, that cool, artsy, somewhat hipster-fied environment. It's very cool. Tell me when that show is again.
So that's going to be tonight.
Yep.
Show is starting at 7. It's going to run from 7 to 10:30. And JT Brown is actually going to be opening up with a short opening set around 7:30.
Wow.
So we've got that. And then we'll be screening the new Some Blues music video around 8:15 to 8:30, and then we'll be doing a full hour-long set.
Love it.
And we'll be playing we'll be playing about 4 new songs from the upcoming record as well, so we'll be debuting a few new ones.
Gotcha. Okay. So just based on, this is the first time we've really had a chance to interact much. I tried to come to one of your shows at Hooch and Hive. I came too late. You were already done. That's my fault. That's not your fault. But your demeanor is very relaxed and confident and calm. You're a very calm person.
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm curious.
Not
What?
true.
yeah. The band's probably all laughing.
So
I'm usually pretty neurotic.
that's what I was gonna say. So like when it comes to that songwriter, I have the vision in my head and getting it out into the world, and sometimes the vision in our head doesn't make sense in the real world. So you have to like rework it, but you want to make sure you don't lose the essence of it, and it's this big juggling act.
Yes.
That can be frustrating.
Yes.
This is actually more of a question to the bandmates than it is to Blake. Is Blake a good band leader, you guys? Is he kind to you? Is he sweet?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He doesn't drive you too hard? Yeah?
No, it's very democratic. Honestly.
Democratic, really?
Yeah, I mean he'll make a final call if something's, if he's got conviction about a certain dynamic or a part, but
Yeah.
I'd say it's pretty democratic, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
Especially
real
with-
democracy.
Yeah. Especially with the new songs. Some stuff it's like already recorded and then this and that, but I feel like we kind of just get together and jam and have fun, and
Yeah.
everyone kind of grooves.
What gets Blake Daniels riled up?
A Oh, like excited, music-wise, passionate, inspired.
Angry.
Oh, angry.
What makes Blake Daniels angry? Anything?
You
Much?
know, I don't get very angry.
The stock market.
Yeah,
The
obsessive,
Dow is down. Dang it, Blake.
No, you know, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I get.
You got a pretty
It's
long
my usual
fuse.
Yeah, I got a pretty long fuse, I guess. But
Yeah.
just normal stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I always find it, especially being on stage, it's nerve-wracking. Being in this environment is nerve-wracking. I can appreciate that. And that often shortens one's fuse. But if you're the type of are you the type of person that you at the shows you keep your cool, you're level-headed?
I've gotten better. I've gotten a lot better.
Okay.
I used to get a lot worse, a little more anxiety and stage fright, but I've gotten a lot better on the. I think I've gotten better at the live shows, and then afterwards, trying to make sure not to kind of do this post-mortem, of
Yeah.
like, oh, did I do that wrong?
Oh,
did I do that?
hypercritical?
Yeah, getting
Okay.
hypercritical. Definitely that type of personality. But after the show, is trying to avoid that and not go down that rabbit hole of like, what could I have done differently? What could I have done this and that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's another one that has a fine line to walk because that criticism, that self-criticism, and that self-awareness is important to improving. But yeah, you're right. It's destructive if you go too far down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
So-
there's a balancing act there. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you were younger, not current Blake, younger Blake, you said you've gotten a lot better at it. What would you say is like an example of a time at a show where you kind of lost your cool?
I mean, I'd say, up until I don't really lose my cool. I more so was just kind of like isolating. I just wanted to get out of
brood?
there. Yeah, brooding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like, yelling like, you should have played your part better. And
Yeah.
you should have-" No. It's more like I just kind of isolate or walk off. But no, I mean, the last time that happened was probably a couple shows ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting a little more comfortable on stage, getting back into the swing of it. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, in that in that vein, I'd love to hear your next song.
All right, so this is actually a brand new song. We're debuting it here first, and
Yeah.
it's the title track for the upcoming record, which is going to be called Wild Thunder. That should be out at the end of this year, hopefully. But this song is also called Wild Thunder.
Beautiful. All right, there we go.
Here we go. Northbound, I've come from all around. I crossed some Nagadoches by the plains, out of the cold black where the Leonids crack. The heavens curse me on my way. Wandering down to that revival town, it was the first I saw the devil's face. Got a cold draft to kick the whiskey back and let it wash right through my dear veins. Wild thunder. Wild thunder. Bloodshed on the evening redness, how we stalked that country like a plague. All in sight was a chosen right, the dead lay many in our way. Time passed like a thunderclap, I wondered if I even had a name. Followed him through the death and grim, as if I'd any other way. Wild thunder. Wild thunder. We met a woman in Tampico house. She begged us with her eyes, pale blue with gold inflections like explosions in the sky. We barely spoke a word before we left her in a ditch. Nothing in her but a whisper and a pulmonary twitch. She said, pneumonia, stock, take her, as we left her to the dust and the moonlight dripped upon the pines. Alone up there, nothing but my thoughts to bear. Cold light shimmering down my spine. If I ever leave this cave alive, I'll find him, la da da, la da.
You're listening to Live Music Showcase. We're live in studio with Blake Daniels and the Blake Daniels Band. Cool song.
Thank you.
I like the 90-degree turn it makes.
Yeah.
Very cool. Stops on a dime, hits that. That's such a creatively courageous decision to make as a songwriter, and I mean that as a compliment and only as a compliment.
Thank you.
Because frankly, in today's day and age, there isn't, I think, enough courage in the way that music is composed, and because of that, we don't get the privilege of hearing unique, artistic music that pushes the limitations of what is acceptable to the common ear for songwriting.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that was another. When I was in high school, I was into probably a lot more like post-punk and like kind of more experimental or art rock or
Sure.
old Modest Mouse, Talking
Sure.
Heads and stuff that did some of that weird stuff. So I always felt like, oh, that's I
what
love
I
that
wanna do.
stuff. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
kind of, now that I've gotten a little more conventional, still kind of keep a little bit of that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's the way it goes, right? Your style evolves over time, and fighting that, I think, ends up being one of the things that causes things like writer's block.
Yeah.
Because it just starts to not feel natural to write a certain way anymore.
Yeah.
But that way was the way you knew.
Yeah. If you're not excited,
you're not
excited, then, you know, it's.
So I was going to ask, that's what I wanted to know. So when you're writing your music, and it is unique and it is your music through and through, clearly,
Thanks.
clear as day. When you first start an idea, when you get that first little bit of inspiration, how do you know for you that that's going to be a song?
It's usually that feeling of excitement, you know. It's like I'll like write a little guitar riff, and then it's just like I kind of get like a little kid, and I'm just, you know, yeah, like, oh
Yeah.
man, you know, I just really like it, you know, and then I'll try to follow that thread down. But then sometimes you run into a dead end,
Yeah.
and then you got to scrap it,
Yeah.
and that sucks. But you know, but yeah, I'd say, you know, just. I watched a great video with Elliott Smith where he was talking about songwriting, and he was talking about writing like with shapes, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, but like writing that on the guitar, that's like still the kind of way I do it, is like, you know, write on the guitar. And then if I get really excited about that and I hear a melody, then I just kind of get really, you know, juiced up. And
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and then through that process, this is actually a question that I asked Alt J when they were here a month ago, because their writing is extremely thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
Every note, every word, every syllable, every tone, everything is extremely like in its right place.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear that in the recordings, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I hear a similar quality in your music as well. So how do you, so I'll ask you the same question I asked them. How do you, in the recording process, because that's really where, you know, all of the ingredients get added and it's going in the oven and it's going to be a cake or it's going to be mush.
Yeah.
How do you decide what's going in at that point? And then how do you get from point A, which is writing just the beginnings of the song, to point B, which is it's done, it's recorded, it's being released? And how do you not get caught up in your own head through that process?
I mean, I can't say that I don't get caught up in my own head in that
Sure.
process. Yeah, because, you know, when I was doing Break the Cycle, which was kind of the first one where I was like, all right, I'm going to really devote my time and make something that no matter how long it takes, no matter what it costs, I'm going to try to do something that at least I feel really good about start to finish, you know?
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, mainly just trial and error, I guess, you know, because then there was all sorts of times where I was like, the drum part's not working. I'm going to have to re-record the whole song, you know, and that's what it took for me, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes you make those concessions
Yeah.
and suddenly you get done with it and it's not the song you thought it was going to be.
Because you can't keep going
Right.
forever,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
You could add little things to it for eternity,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But you know.
Well, so we're coming up to the end of the show. It flew by like it always does. I want to remind the listeners and the viewers who are watching the live stream, we are here every Friday, 2 o'clock, 2:06 technically speaking. And if you want to listen to us any way you can listen to us, you can listen to us on FM radio, on 88.5 FM. You can listen to us at WMNF.org. You can listen to us in podcast form wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Live Music Showcase. New episodes drop every Friday evening. You can watch us on YouTube. You can search Live Music Showcase on YouTube. And, of course, the Facebook live stream. We're also on Instagram. There's a litany. There's a whole bunch. All you really have to do is go to WMNF.org and look up Live Music Showcase to find our entire all the different ways you can listen to the show. So real quick, I'll just mention a couple more comments from the live stream here. Ben Italis says, love the emphasis on music video content. People are consuming music in visual mediums more now than ever. And Ben would know because he's a video professional. He knows all about that stuff. And then also we have Ray says, great tunes. Ben says, killer song, cranked in the car. I think it was the last song we were hearing. And then Brian Kelly says, really like the variety in the new song, Father of the Drummer. That's your dad. So there you go. On this show is very special because we have a whole crew of people that make this entire show happen. We have audio engineers, we have video professionals, we have camera technicians, we have social media people. It's a big task done by a bunch of people. So I want to give a shout out to all of the different people that are on the show. Mark Perfetti, Sound Mixer Mark, is our audio engineer. Bob Hoke is our video director. Richard Stone is the post-video production. Marcy Connors and Ed Lehman are our camera operators. Micaiah Caldwell is our board op. Pam Robinson is our audio assistant. And in for Chandler Collada on the photography is Haley. Thank you so much, Haley. And did I miss anyone? I think I got everyone. Yeah, that's everyone. There we go. Cool. Perfect. So I think that it's about that time. Before you take us out with the song, give us a last word. Tell, if you have fans out there, pretend your fans are all one person right now. What's one thing you would tell to your fans? You would say to your fans?
I would just say thanks for listening, and I'm really happy you enjoy it.
Love it. Well, go ahead and take us out. Oh, and by the way, stick around because the Rhythm Revival is coming up next here on WMNF. Rhythm Revival is a great show, really great show. Reverend Billy runs that thing over there, and it's a great deep dive into some of the classic tunes, legendary performers, and what makes them tick, really. So the Rhythm Revival coming up next here on WMNF. All right, guys, well, take us out with that final song. Thank you so much for being here, Blake Daniels.
Thank you for having us. This song is called Lullaby, and it's another one off Break the Cycle. Sleep now, lover, go Love me, love me, always above me. Tell me there's nothing to say. If you need a kindness, a friend, or silence, I'm only a whisper away. Summer has ended, autumn's beginning. I know you love this time of year. Though things are dying and it seems a bit frightening, it's just what we needed, my dear. Tell me how dangerous it is begging love to stay. Hold me out, I'm around, but I won't throw the feeling. No, I won't throw the feeling away. Sleep now, lover, go find another. Tell me there's nothing to say.